Okay, boys, now that the first arc of Dandadan is over, let's talk about how the Turbo Granny arc was. So, let's begin. Who is Turbo Granny? Imagine, if you will, the sweetest old lady you've ever seen. She's got knitting needles in one hand and a freshly baked pie cooling on the windowsill. Now take that mental image and throw it out of the window because Turbo Granny is exactly the opposite of all things grandmotherly. This isn't your sweet cardigan wearing old lady. This is the demonically fast, ultra creepy ghost version of grandma, who probably once broke the sound barrier in her past life. And she's not knitting, she's snatching souls and unfortunately for Okaran, other precious things too. Turbo Granny is in fact, a cursed spirit living in an abandoned tunnel, probably because the afterlife gave up trying to keep checking her. You'd think a tunnel ghost would just haunt people in a spooky, floaty way, right? Wrong. Turbo Granny just doesn't haunt, she chases. She sprints. She's like the ghost equivalent of the Terminator, but instead of hasta la vista baby, she's more like hand over those jewels kid. Let's talk about her speed. This isn't just grandma trying to catch up us speed. No, Turbo Granny runs like she's trying to break the world records and then some. If she ever participated in a ghostly Olympics, she'd win gold in every track and field event, then haunt the award ceremony for one. The moment Turbo Granny enters the scene, you know things are going to get weird, wild, and faster than you can say retirement. Now Karun, our hapless protagonist, is just minding his own business, as do teenage boys do. He's into supernatural stuff, which is not serving him well actually, as you'll soon find out, and is deeply interested in alien conspiracies, UFO sightings, and other paranormal nonsense. Think of Okaron as the guy who's watched way too much ancient files, but still isn't prepared for the craziness that is about to unfold. Somewhere along the way, Okaron gets wind of the infamous tunnel haunted by Turbo Granny, and like any teenager with an unhealthy interest in paranormal danger, he decides it's a good idea to investigate. Spoiler alert, it's not a good idea. What Okaron doesn't know is that Turbo Granny isn't just some friendly ghost looking for a chat. She's got a vendetta against life itself, and if she's going down, she's taking part of Okaron with her, a very important part. Let's set the scene. Okaron steps into the cursed tunnel, flashlight in hand, heart pounding, and then boom! Turbo Granny appears. She's got that creepy smile, those wrinkled, ghostly features, and an aura of menace that says, I don't bake cookies, I steal your soul. But Turbo Granny isn't just content with being your run-of-the-mill spooky tunnel ghost. She has one thing on her mind, Okaron's family jewels. Yes, you heard that correctly. Turbo Granny, in all her undead wisdom, decides that Okaron's manhood, his prized possession, his spiritual coin assets are the perfect target. You know things are bad when a demon granny sets her sights on that. In a matter of seconds, Turbo Granny places a curse on Okaron, and before he even knows what's happening, his manhood is gone. Poof, vanished. He's officially been spiritually neutered by a geriatric speed demon, and let's be real, there are a lot of ways a teenager can picture losing his manhood, but getting it stolen from a ghost grandma in a haunted tunnel probably wasn't on the list. Okaran's reaction, absolute panic. He is in full-blown what just happened to me mode. And who could blame him? You got into a spooky tunnel, expecting maybe a jump scare, but instead, you come out a victim of the weirdest crime ever committed by the supernatural. Now, you might be wondering, what in the name of all things sacred does Turbo Granny want with Okaran's manhood? Is she building some kind of ghostly shrine? Is there an underground spirit black market for teenage boys' precious jewels? Or is she just really bored? The truth is, Turbo Granny's motives are hilariously unclear. Maybe she's just a chaotic spirit who likes to mess with people for kicks. Maybe she was sick of haunting tunnels and wanted to try something new. Or maybe, just maybe, Turbo Granny is the ultimate troll in the spiritual world, going around stealing weird things from unsuspecting humans and cackling as she zips off into the darkness. Either way, Okaran is in serious trouble, and Turbo Granny is far from done. As if Okaran wasn't having a bad enough day, he realizes that he's going to need help. He can't exactly go to a doctor and say, hey, a ghost grandma stole my, jewels? Can you fix that? So who does he turn to? Momo, the school resident, tough girl, supernatural expert, and an all-around badass. Momo is the type of person who probably crushes protein shakes for breakfast and does kickboxing in her spare time. She's tough as nails and doesn't have time for anyone's nonsense, especially for Turbo Granny. When Okaran tells her about the curse, Momo doesn't even flinch. She's like, "Oh, you got cursed by a ghost." Happens all the time. Let's go punch that granny in the face. And that's exactly what happens. Now, most people would try to exorcise a ghost with holy water chants or maybe some sage. Not Momo. Her plan? Physically beat Turbo Granny into submission. Momo's philosophy is simple. If it moves, it's evil, punch it. So the two set off to the tunnel for the ultimate showdown. Momo's all fired up, ready to deliver a righteous beatdown to the ghost that dare mess with her friend. Meanwhile, Okarun just praying that his manhood gets back without too many witnesses. And then the battle begins. Turbo Granny, who's probably been sitting in a ghostly tunnel, twiddling her spectral thumbs, is not prepared for the human wrecking ball that is Momo. While Okarun stands by, hoping his jewels are safe, Momo charges straight at Turbo Granny like she's auditioning for an action movie. Now, Turbo Granny doesn't take this lying down. She may be old, but she's creepy, like a supercharged grandma at a Black Market Friday sale. Like a supercharged grandma at a Black Friday sale, except she's after souls instead of discounted blenders. She zips around the tunnel at impossible speeds, cackling like a maniac while Momo tries to land a hit. Imagine the scene. A teenage girl trying to uppercut a ghostly granny who's moving faster than light, and a boy standing in the background, desperately hoping that stolen goods are returned before this turned into a full-on catastrophe. Turbo Granny pulls all stops. She's zooming around like she's a ghostly roller coaster, laughing like an evil grandma who's just won the lottery. But Momo isn't fazed. She's determined, fueled by anger, and Okarun's increasingly panicked screams. Momo and Okarun are finally able to beat Turbo Granny, with Okarun in his badass form and a little help from Momo's grandma. By the way, who is a baddie and I plan to make a video on her soon. In the world of Dandadan, Turbo Granny will go down in history as one of the weirdest, wildest and most hilarious supernatural villains ever. She may be fast, she may be terrifying, but at the end of the day, she's just a grandma who has had one or too many Red Bulls in the afterlife. And let's be real, what's scarier than a grandma on a mission? A turbocharged grandma with supernatural speeds who's willing to steal a teenager's manhood. That's what. Turbo Granny may be defeated, but her legacy lives on, forever haunting the nightmares of anyone who dares to underestimate the elderly.